Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know it's been a week, but welcome back to News in Motion. Today is May 14th, 2024. If you are in Columbus, Ohio, it is cloudy and rainy. Be sure that you are being extra vigilant if you're on the road for our audio and podcast listeners. You can also find us on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. If you're tuning in live with us here at 7:25 a.m. or if you are catching the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or near the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting News in Motion. News in Motion is a media outlet with relevant commentary and call to action. And today we have our topic for today is Talk About It Tuesday. So, before we get started, a few shout outs to our viewers. Shout out to Miss Adrian, Miss Deborah Johnson, and good morning, Miss Shardini, who is tuning in through YouTube as well. As y'all are coming up in the room, be sure to invite a friend, let them know that you're watching News in Motion, and we'll be right back after this brief intro.
News in Motion.
Well, hello, everyone. We are back after a 1 week break, a very needed break, if I can say that. And during that time, there has been a lot of news. Do us a favor, everyone, if you would just send out a text message or hit that smash, as Adrian says, smash that like button so that we can get some momentum going on the algorithm side. Let everybody know she's back. I see you, Kim Edmondson. What's up? Let everyone know that News in Motion is back. We're back. We are back. So if y'all would hit that smash button, that helps the algorithm. If you would like text a friend and say, hey, come hang out with us for about 20, 30 minutes, that would be great. As you're doing that, y'all, this is Tuesday, May the 14th, 2024. I am your host, Gail Dudley. Do y'all understand that it will be 4 years in June? 4 years in June. And this morning, when that alarm went off right about 4 o'clock, maybe a few minutes before, because I was like, hey, you didn't go all the way to 4 o'clock. I laid in a bed just for a little bit. And I said, God, where do we go from here? What is it that you would have us to do? And what does that look like? And one thing that came back to me was to keep educating the people on the facts and the truth, not to deviate from that at all. So we're going to stay true to our mission in doing that. I'm so excited today because I'll also be hanging out with some young people today at the Columbus City Schools. And we're going to be talking about community, and some of their parents will be there as well. We're going to be talking about community and collaboration, and what does that look like, resources, civic engagement, all of that. So I'm excited about that for this afternoon as well. I see you, Lori. I see you. Well, welcome back to you as well. All right, y'all, that's happening Tuesday, although it's going to be a little different this morning because the news is not playing. Before I get there, Maryland, Nebraska, and West Virginia, you vote today. As we begin to wrap up this primary season. Maryland, Nebraska, and West Virginia, you vote today in the presidential primary and whatever else may be on your ballots. You can check that out by going to ballotpedia.org. Again, that's ballotpedia.org to see what's all on your ballot, to check your voting location, all of that. So you can go to ballotpedia.org to get all of that information. Also, Oregon and Kentucky, you're next week, May the 21st, and the last two, Oregon and Kentucky, will wrap up the primary. So again, Maryland, Nebraska, West Virginia, you vote today. You can go to ballotpedia.org. Again, that's ballotpedia.org, and you can put in to find out your voting location, and whatever else may be on the ballot, ballotpedia.org. And that's ballotpedia.org. And then again, next week, May the 21st, Oregon and Kentucky, you wrap it all up. You wrap it all up, you put a bow on it, and we'll see what happened when we get to the primary, to the conventions beginning in July with the RNC. All right, y'all. I told y'all there's a lot of news. And I'm looking at all these audio people rolling in here as well. So yay to all the audio people. Let's talk Georgia. Yeah, let's talk Georgia. And I got it right here. I want y'all to pay attention to this. If you have any friends or family in Georgia, you want to say, hey, come on over to News in Motion or check it out, the replay or whatever. All right, y'all. Senate Bill 189. Senate Bill 189. Somebody put that in the chat. Senate Bill 189. What's up, Crystal? All right, y'all. Georgia. Senate Bill 189. Again, if you have any friends, family, whatever, let them know they need to really read Senate Bill 189. All right. This is just months before the general election. We're less than 6 months away now. And they have what I would really call, I'm not making up a word, I'm not giving y'all any type of propaganda or rhetoric. This is the truth. They have what I would call some serious voter suppression laws. What's up, Davia? What's up, girl? All right, y'all. Here are 5 things. And again, I pulled it out. It's 24 pages. This is in addition to what Governor Kemp signed back in 2020. Y'all know it was all focused on the water, giving people water. Well, this right here, just hold on, because I'm going to break it down. I'm going to slow walk it today. So if you got somewhere to go, you know, I get it. You might want to come back and watch the replay. But here are 5 things I'm going to pull out. One, they are definitely making it harder for people experiencing homelessness to register to vote. What's up, Judy? They're making it difficult. They're not even allowing them to use their homeless shelter address. I ain't joking. It's in this bill, Senate Bill 189. They are requiring in-person early voting and mail ballots to be counted within the hours of the polls closing. What does that mean? Well, we already know, and I used Georgia just, 2 weeks ago? We already know that there's a significant decrease of poll workers, of election workers. So if they need to count the mail-in ballots within the hour of them closing the polling locations, they mean all of them in every county of Georgia. If they're not counted within 1 hour of closing, they get discarded. Yeah, it's in here. I must say to all of you reading this, I was like, are we serious right now? So that's happening. So we have a decrease of election poll workers. So if there's anyone listening to me or watching the replay later or hearing from your friends about Georgia, listen, if you even think that you want to engage in your community, go be trained and become an election worker. You're needed more today in Georgia than ever before. You are needed. So that's happening. And they're putting some unnecessary strain on those who are there to rush the people through. Okay, so that's just number 2. I got 3 more. They're allowing voters to be removed from the rolls up to 45 days before an election. Which means if you're removed, you don't have any wiggle room to go back in and to register before November the 5th. You have no wiggle room to go really fight it because they're not going to be available, okay, to even hear your concerns. I cannot stress enough that we need to be checking our voter registration at this point, y'all, every week. It takes less than 3 minutes. I do it. I go on there to the Secretary of State of Ohio, make sure my voting, check my address, make sure my name is right, check my voting location. Okay, we're done. Y'all takes less than 3 minutes to do it. open the door to chaos and disinformation. They're allowing disinformation to be on the social media sites. They're saying it's up to people to check and vet the information to see if it's true. Now, I do believe that we do take ownership for that. We just can't take something and run with it. And then number 5, they're eliminating the requirement that there be one voting machine at polling locations for every 250 voters. You heard that. So wait a minute. So if you got a line of 500, you got 2 machines, like what is happening right now? So you're going to be standing in the lines longer if you're waiting till the day of voting in Georgia. So I would say to all of you in Georgia, early vote. But let me get, those are the highlights, if you will. Let me read this to y'all. Again, this is going to be in the Friday rundown. I don't care if you don't live in Georgia, because if it passed in Georgia, it can pass where you live. Okay? So, Senate Bill 189. These first 2 lines are going to blow you away. Y'all remember what happened, right? Y'all remember Secretary Raffensperger. Y'all remember all that, right? Okay. To amend Chapter 2 of Title 21 of the Official Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to elections and primaries generally. So, everybody type in the chat. So, I want y'all to hear this. I read this like, this can't be right. This can't be right. So I went to go check out with my attorney friends and a couple judges. Y'all, this is real. This is real. So, as to remove the Secretary of State from the State Election Board. How are you removing the Secretary of State from the State Election Board when they're on a board? Then that is their job to oversee the state elections. Do y'all follow me? Like y'all remove the Secretary of State from the State Election Board? Make that make sense, somebody. Make that make sense. To provide additional conflict of interest. They're now saying that the Secretary of State is a conflict of interest to the State Election Board. What? But again, y'all got to remember what happened. What happened in 2020? What happened even afterwards? What's happening even now? That should make you go, is this why you're making the changes that you're making? And then it goes on to say, provisions for statewide and local election of officers, officials, and employees relating to business providing goods and services, relating to voting equipment. They give a whole lot of things about processing, scanning the ballots, ballot access, political parties, political bodies relating to nominations. Yes, Kim Edmondson, totally ridiculous. To revise provision to determine residency. To what? To revise? What? You're not going to take it from my license that this is where I live? How are you going to even fact check where I live? Make it make sense. You don't have the manpower. So then is that a way I'm going to come off of the rolls to vote 45 days before, and then you suppress me from being able to vote the day of the election or early vote? Because you don't know if I really live there or not. Y'all, this thing talks about deaths, which I get it. You want to make sure that somebody's not putting that together. I'm not going over all of this, but y'all, businesses mean corporation, partnerships, proprietorships, firms, enterprise, franchise. This is talking about the code in the section where they're talking about registering people to vote. So they're knocking that out. I know some places you go and you may see in a grocery cart or a bag or whatever, like a voter registration thing, or just reminding people to register to vote. They're getting rid of all of that here. You're not going to be able to do that. They're talking about the lines. They're talking about what you can and can't do in the line. So they're bringing that out again. They're talking about person's place of residence, which I just talked about. Such person shall be considered to have lost such person's residence in a former county or municipality. So if you move within this time, listen, if you live in Georgia and you move tomorrow or you move today, immediately go change your driver's license and go ahead and update your voter registration form and card and information, and then check it within, I don't know, 7 or 14 days to make sure it's been updated. If not, go back to that location, get a name while you're there the first time, write down. I do things like this, and I know everyone's not as anal as I am, but I write down, even when I'm talking to somebody on the phone about a credit card bills, interest or whatever, what's your name? I write down the time, if it's 11:09 a.m. or 7:02 p.m., the time, the conversation. I write those things down in a notebook. I'm still old school in a lot of respect, but I write those things down. So get the name of the person. Y'all, Section 6 talks about how they will further amend the code, section 21-2300. Now, y'all, this is relating to provision of new voting equipment by state. Uniform system for all elections to be conducted with the use of scanning ballots. So they talk about the equipment. They're talking about training. Y'all, and this is the thing that really jumped out at me. It says that the election superintendent has petitioned and received the approval of the state election board at least 10 days prior to the beginning of advance voting. So if you have a glitch, 10 days is enough time to fix it? Because I don't think so. Because you may have to get a whole new machine. So that means you're removing a machine. We already talking a machine every 250 people. Help it make some sense here. And y'all got a lot of people. Let's just take Fulton County or Cobb County. That's a lot of people. Gwinnett County. I lived there. That was a lot of people. 10 days is not enough. I would encourage y'all, when y'all see this in the Friday rundown, to please read it. Please read it, y'all. Please read it. Please. I'm begging you all to read it when I send it. And make sure you send it on to somebody else. That's who we are. That's who we are about. That's what we do. And we're not deviating from that. This is who we are. All right, y'all. In Virginia school board votes to restore the names of Confederate leaders to schools. Yeah. NBC News was the first to report this. The school board in Virginia approved a proposal that will restore the names of Confederate military leaders to 2 public schools. Yeah. The measure reversed a previous board decision in 2020 to change the names of schools that had been linked to Stonewall Jackson and Robert E. Lee and Turner Ashby, the three men who led the pro-slavery Southern states during the Civil War. Now, y'all, the board had initially stripped their names in 2020 after the George Floyd's murders, but now that there's new board members, they're putting them back in. Let's talk Speaker Johnson. Y'all know here we're fair and balanced, right? I say kudos to the man. Okay. Speaker Johnson and Politico was the first to really report this and highlight every area. Y'all know last week there was a vote. Marjorie Taylor Greene and some of her cronies finally got shut down. He wasn't playing. I give a standing ovation to Minority Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, who said, y'all Democrats, we're going to vote for this. We got some things we got to get done. We don't have time to be in here not being able to get business done. Crystal says, I wonder how this affects college students from Georgia. My cousin is moving to Louisiana for college. You should check on that and have your cousin check that now. Not to wait, but to check. And sometimes, just like when you go to your doctor and you want a second opinion, if something doesn't sound right, tell your cousin, tell your loved ones, get a second opinion to make sure. But with Politico, Politico's author spent about an hour with Speaker Johnson. What's up, Marion Jackson? Last Wednesday, after he survived this vote. Now, he's no doubt a Republican, but y'all got to give credit where credit is due. He was like, no shenanigans. And the Republican Party, they're looking at Speaker Johnson as to say, maybe we are coming back to some normalcy and not all of this partisan stuff, because we want to get things done. So here's a few things they picked up from their interview with Mike Johnson. He has spent the last few months cutting bipartisan deals to keep the government open. So even through all the fight, he says, no, these are the things that are needed, and these are the things we're going to do. Either you're voting for it or you're voting against it, but we're not going to spin it. We're not going to do all these shenanigans. I give him credit for that. Number two, he worked with the Biden administration to get a clear view of the whole Russian threat before pushing through an aid package. Once he heard it, spoke with the administration, got with the Pentagon leaders, got with the different departments, he said, oh no, we got to do something about this. He went to the source to get the facts. Got to give him credit for that. Number three, lost any respect he had for the far right agitators. He said he's done with that. He said that's not even necessary in these chambers, and I'm not going to fool with it. I must say the man has a backbone. Fair is fair. Y'all know I got to be honest here. He also said that he's come to admire the House Democrat leader, and he said they have more in common than not. So even the fact that he was vocal enough to share that and put that out there is a win. Now, Speaker Johnson said he is, he understands this whole Trump phenomenon. And he's saying that he believes he understands it more than Paul Ryan and Kevin McCarthy. And they're saying that he's able to possibly manage the likes of a Donald Trump. So this conversation, so now I got to be honest, I went back to, well, you helped out with this 2020 stuff. But they did not zone in on that in their interview. But the more I was doing some research, some of this was he was pulling out legal law, legislation that's already in place, saying, well, this is how this can be done if these things happen. Now, still, you got to think about that, but maybe him put in a seat and seeing how things are working on another platform will change that for him. So there's that. Let's go to Barron Trump. As many of you know, he was named a delegate from Florida, which that raised a lot of red flags because his entire family are delegates. So you're taking away delegates from your community. That doesn't make sense. You're taking away delegates from different states. That doesn't make sense. Well, it was only a few days later where New York Times was the first to report and said Donald Trump's youngest son, Barron Trump, will not serve as one of the Florida's delegates to the Republican National Convention. The office of Melania Trump said on Friday. I said, she's like, you're not doing that. In a statement released 2 days after Barron, age 18, was selected to be an at-large delegate, he was an at-large delegate by Florida Republican Party. Her office said that Barron was honored to have been chosen, but he regretfully declines to participate due to prior commitments. Okay. So there's that. He will be graduating from high school as well. And then also congratulations to all graduates, near and far. Congratulations. All right, let's get to the finance part of what happened yesterday. Kim Edmonds, I don't know if you was watching this closely or not, but did y'all see the movie on Netflix called Dumb Money? If not, watch it. Well, that's based on a true story. Watch it. And that happened on yesterday. Yes, it did, y'all. That happened on yesterday. In that movie, Dumb Money, there's a character that is called Roaring Kitty. He posted a meme on Twitter on yesterday. Well, X on yesterday. And all of his followers jumped on and went after GameStop trading options. That's GME. The stock went from way, way low to way, way high. It went from being able to purchase one contract, which is 100 shares for, $34 to $400, okay? And then it got so crazy that they halted trading GameStop. They halted, which that never happens. It happened once before. That's why the movie Dumb Movie was made. It happened yesterday. Like, you couldn't trade it. It was over. It stopped. Once they got everything leveled out, it came back in. So then it dropped, but then it took off again. And so now, because of the psychology of trading, that group of people, and a lot of them are millennials, are holding steady again. So just like the movie, so if you have not watched the movie, I would encourage you to watch it. You can watch it on Money on Netflix. They're holding again. That's creating this craze when it comes to the stock market. So AMC, that's the movie theater, they somehow connected with the entertainment. They went from like, I don't know, $5 all the way up to like, I was like, what is going on? So even things like that, you have to pay attention and ask the question, what's going on in society today and why is all of this happening? And then the major question is, why now? So that's happening. I know I'm into this now, so I'm all excited. Then we have the airlines, y'all. I was like, what is going on in our world today? All right, y'all, the airlines are mad. They are mad. You are not going to tell me I got to give people money back because we canceled their flight. Well, yeah, you do. You can't just give us a credit because maybe we no longer need to go there. So as y'all know, the Biden administration said no more junk fees, and you're going to pay the people back. You're going to pay, they paid you, you're going to pay the people back. Well, y'all, the airlines is suing the Biden administration. Yeah, that came out yesterday. AP News is the first report on this. I'm sitting back going, what is going on? Y'all, U.S. airlines are suing to block the Biden administration from requiring greater transparency. What? You don't want to be transparent with the people who help pay your salaries. You don't want to be transparent with us. So you're going to block to sue the Biden administration so you don't have to be transparent. Wow. Over fees and carrier charges, their passengers are saying that the new rule will confuse consumers. It doesn't confuse us at all. You owe us, and so you should pay us, right? So y'all, they're suing the U.S. Department of Transportation said Monday that it will defend the rule. Pete Buttigieg was like, you suing me? Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. So American Airlines, Delta, United, and 3 other carriers, along with their industry trade group, sued the Transportation Department in a federal appeal court on Friday, asking the court to overturn the rule. Yeah, y'all. What to know, the U.S. airlines are suing over a new rule to make certain fees easier to spot. And then the U.S. Transportation Department said it will defend the rule. They're going to, yeah, that's right, Marion. No confusion here. None. There's absolutely none. So y'all, the trade group, I was like, is this for real? The trade group, Airlines for America, said the Transportation Department is going beyond its authority to tell us, to give us transparency. You don't want to give us transparency, make it make sense. So they want to regulate a private business operation. They want to continue to thrive in the marketplace. Do y'all remember that it was the administrations who gave y'all money after COVID to keep doing what you're doing, and you still raise prices? You don't remember that? Okay. We remember. So y'all, that is happening. All right. Also, y'all, if y'all watch this, and it pains me sometimes to watch his speeches, but I watch them because I want to hear it for myself. I don't want to have secondhand information. So if you can stomach it, I would ask you to watch all the speeches from both candidates. 3 candidates. So it came out while he was in New Jersey that he wants to deport pro-Palestine protesters. And then GOP lawmakers started putting in some bills to pass the moment he said that. So by Monday morning, yesterday, there's all these bills floating around from GOP lawmakers to make that happen. So y'all have to pay attention. This was a rally in Wildwood, New Jersey on Saturday through former President Donald Trump. He made some comments that should make everyone, I don't care where you are in the political party, go, what's really going on here? What is he saying? He called names. Of course, he went after the Manhattan District Attorney, Alvin Bragg. He talked about immigrant children. He talked about migrant children. He talked about deporting people. He says, and I quote, "When I'm president, we will not allow our colleges to be taken over by violent radicals. And if you come here from a violent country and try to bring jihadism or anti-Americanism or anti-Semitism to our campuses, we will immediately deport you. You will be out of that school. And the crowd was really, really like, they were extremely loud. And I thought, this is very interesting. He made the promises that they will implement strong ideological screening for all immigrants. He said that they're not bringing anyone from Gaza here. He went really anti protesters and supporters. It was extremely concerning. I would encourage you to watch it for yourself. It was very, very, very concerning. Very concerning. So I would encourage you to watch it for yourself. All right, y'all. So for the inspirational message, I got to give y'all something inspirational behind all this, right? For the inspirational message, before I get there, thanks again to everyone who has been purchasing Inspire Call to Action. Y'all, that book is in stock, then it's out of stock. And it's a really great problem to have. And I'm excited about it. So with that, I'm asking you, if you have a copy of the book, whether you purchased it from Amazon or not, please go to Amazon today if you can, as soon as we get off of this, and leave a review. It could be one line. Leave a review. We would greatly appreciate it. It really does help with the algorithm. Dr. Antoinette sent me an email last week where Amazon was sending her highly recommended books, and that book, Inspire, was on there. And I was like, wow. So I'm really excited about what's happening. If you want to host an event, we've now completed 3. If you want to host book conversations with Gail, please reach out to us. You don't have to do anything but gather the people. We'll do everything else. But if you would just want to do that, we would love that. If you want to do even a telephone conversation or a Zoom meeting, we can do that as well. So really excited about that. And we just really want to say thank you for the support that's happening. And that was, again, while I was lying in bed at 4 o'clock this morning, asking God the question, what's next? What am I doing? Where do I go? How do I get there? Lord, I just want you to give me the instructions for this. So for the inspirational message today, I put a post up yesterday on Instagram. It was a question. And the question is, how do you stay inspired? Or how can we inspire you? Or what do you need to be inspired? It was one of those. But it all centers around inspiration. So I want you to participate today. If you're in chat, if you are on audio, you stay on audio. You keep driving it. But if you're someplace in your office now where you can respond, put it in the chat. But put it in the chat. What do you need to stay inspired, especially in this political atmosphere that we're in right now with everything happening? And as you're putting it in there, please put it in there. Please put it in there. As you're putting it in the chat, yesterday, again, I'm going to hang out with some young people this afternoon with Columbus City Schools, talking about civic engagement and gathering. Real excited about that. But I went to go pick up some stuff from Staples. Then I had to go to Kohl's. You know, got to take back those Amazon returns. And Sheriff was everywhere, every parking lot. So when I turned into the Kohl's parking lot, Sheriff said, I was like, what's going on? And they were like, well, we just want everyone to be careful. A lot of people have been attacked over the weekend, over the past week, in all these different strip malls. And this is not to create fear at all. They was like, just be aware. If somebody's in a car next to you, consider moving your car instead of getting out. And I'm, I still have some hood in me. I'm like, I wish somebody would. But I just thought about that. And then I saw an older woman on the ground where they were caring for her, where she had been attacked by a group. And I said, what is leading to this today? What's happening? Are people crying out for help? Is it that they're just not inspired? What is really at the root of what's going on today? And how do we help people? What does that look like? Because what the one sheriff was saying to me, because they were all over the parking lot. And I got out the car to go, because I'm taking my Amazon return back. I was taking out the car, and she says, you should put your phone away. She goes, those are one of the things. They come up behind you, snatch your phone, and run. I looked at her, I said, I wish they would. And she kind of chuckled with me. She says, I've gotten that response a lot today. I said, I think we're tired, and we have to take our communities. We have to oversee our communities. We have to be a regular figure in the community, and whatever that looks like. So we had a good conversation when I was walking in. Deborah says, I'm inspired by joyful people who live with purpose. I read inspirational books beginning with the Bible. Kim Edmondson says, music inspires me. Yeah, y'all keep putting in the chat. Thank y'all for sharing that. And when I came back out, that same female sheriff was standing there. And she said, who are you? And I said, what do you mean, Mama? She says, no, really. She said, you had a smile on the whole time we were talking to you. You kind of chuckled with us. You said, I'm not supposed to help anybody. And you're like, that ain't happening. If I think somebody's in trouble. She says, most people have this edge about them, but you came out with something more positive and in the way you're going to respond. And I said, I think that's what the world needs today. We need to be able to respond in a positive light and not a negative. I said, I think people are searching for some inspiration, but their surroundings are so filled with negativity. It's hard for them to cut through that negativity to find what's positive, to find what could inspire them. I said, from the youngest person to the oldest person, there needs to be some ongoing inspiration. So we had a really great conversation, which really sparked me making that post. So Marion says, you put it up there. Thank you, Marion. What do we need to stay inspired? So y'all, I want y'all to really think about that today, this week. What do you need? What does that look like? I've been intentional on my Instagram, engaging with other people and posting their memes and so forth. A lot of it's women-based, about, you just got to go ahead. Like, no, I'm not your cup of tea because I'm champagne. Davey, I saw you like that one. I'm champagne. So no, you're not going to drink this. Because I'm at another space. I don't have time for this anymore. And we have to really rise up to say, I no longer have time for these shenanigans. Life is too important. Too much greatness is happening in and around me to be sidetracked by foolishness. Lori says, good people around me are important. If you consistently pour out, you need positive people to pour back in. Sometimes it's hard to find. I guess I better put my glass on because I don't know if that's it. Oh yeah, it does consistently. I need to make sure. But yeah, we have to. This is just me. Thank you. I don't know if Tanya or Lexi's on here, but I was their preacher. I gave this sermon on Saturday. They have Saturday morning church. If you're looking for a church in Columbus, Ohio, and you want a Saturday morning church, Life Transformation on East Broad Street near downtown Columbus is 1 hour from 11 to 12, and it's phenomenal. But I had the opportunity, and we were talking about, the point of my sermon was, God will supply all your needs, and to trust God. And I gave 3 points. Ask for what you need, humble yourself, and block out the distractions. And I believe it might be on their website, the entire sermon. But I came out of 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1-7. And I thought about it. I said, that's inspiration. Ask for what you need. If you know you're lacking when it comes to the realm of inspiration, ask. You may have to humble yourself. Marian says, I'm inspired by kindness of others around me. I have been blessed by the beautiful people around me. I think that's what she's saying there. It's crazy that I can figure these things out, right? But y'all really decide, okay, let me humble myself. I don't have everything that I need right now. So let me humble myself and ask for what I need. And then block out the distractions. Seriously, y'all, block out the distractions. It's a game changer. All right, tomorrow is What to Know Wednesday. I think I'm doing a workshop in there tomorrow. So you want to tune in, let people know we are back. We are here the rest of, what's up, Devontae? Good morning. He said, welcome back, News in Motion family. Well, thank you, sir. And by the way, I want to publicly thank Devontae. He encouraged people to subscribe to our YouTube. It took us forever to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube. Now we like racking in people every day. So thank you, Devontae, for saying that. We appreciate that. And if anybody on here, and I'm going to reach out to Mike Nicholson as well, has SEO experience with social media and YouTube, I really want to consult with you. I'll pay you, consult with you, because it's time for us. God is showing, he's revealing some things to me. And I've said yes. Just like this is inspiration. This is my inspiration. And y'all just bear with me. I wasn't here last week, so I'm going to take extra time. Bear with me. My inspiration. My husband knows because he's a doctor of ministry, right? And he teaches preaching. I usually don't like him with me when I'm preaching at church. It's like, you can watch it at home, but I don't want you to come with me. This past Saturday, I want you to come. He said, no, I want you to come. I said, because I've been afraid to preach in front of you because of your credentials. I said, that stops today. And that was my inspiration. I said that when I went into my sermon on Saturday. He was there. I called it out and I said, and that fear of this professor who's a brilliant mind sitting here, it stops today that I'm afraid. And then we got in the car. He said, well, that was darn good. I said, oh, really? I got really excited. He said, no, really. He said that. He goes, you laid that thing out. So I was really excited, but I had to deal with that fear and say, nope, come, because it stops today. So y'all, that's my inspiration, that I make a determination, say this stops today. So with that, I'm putting things in place. As you all know, I posted last week, we have an official email address. It's Gail@GailDudley.com. I fought that thing for the longest. Putting that out there, it was a game changer, which says, I had to ask myself, am I afraid of my own success? Am I stopping my own success out of fear? Y'all, you have to tap into those things. And that's a part of inspiration. We have to tap into that. And I have no problem being transparent with you all. None. But I said, am I the blocker of my own success? So I switched up the email, the Medium blog post. We get new followers every day. Mind blowing. I got the report from Ingram Publishing. Y'all, the way Inspire, a call to action, is selling is mind blowing, which says to me, people are needing inspiration. So I'm asking God, how do I balance it? What do I do? Using Davia's word, where do I pivot? What does that look like? What do I have to pull back from? So we all have News in Motion. We're here the rest of May. We're here June until our 4th year anniversary, which is June 21st or 22nd, one of those days. And then there's that break. And then the young people will do Young People Takeover in July. They're doing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It will not be that first week of July because that's the week of July 4th. It will be the 3 weeks in July. We take our complete break in August. When we return in September, and then we're out of here, y'all. When we return in September, News in Motion, on Town Hall Thursdays, the lineup, wow, we're talking about the psychology of voting. We're having people from Brennan. Yeah. The Pew Research. Yeah. They said yes. That's like, I had to stop being afraid. It's like, all I can do is ask them. They say no, they say no. They were like, yeah, we'll be interested into it. We have people coming polling. We have people that's going to be talking about business. We have people that are going to be talking about advocacy. Y'all, the town hall meetings are going to be on and popping. That's happening Tuesday. We'll keep, Kim Edmonds says, pivot is your superpower. Yeah, I think so too. We're going to keep Tuesday. That's happening Tuesday that's happening Tuesday. And Wednesdays, we're going to be doing some sort of community civic engagement workshops. And we, again, will take you to November the 5th. Hopefully we'll have results of the election November the 6th. And by November the 7th, yeah, that's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By November the 7th, we will give you our update as to what we're going to do and how things are going to look. Marian says, please pray for me and my family. I'm traveling to Georgia this week for my mother's homegoing. Oh, our condolences to you, Marian. My mother, Elizabeth Jackson, was 93 when she passed. Great life, Miriam. Great life. And we will be praying for you. If you need anything, let us know. Let any of us know. Let any of us know. Let any of us know. All right, y'all, we gotta go. So until tomorrow, this has been News in Motion. I'm your host, Gail Dudley. Thank you so much for letting me share a part of your morning with you. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
News in Motion.